a small number, but that's a huge number. 53 people dead. We've seen protests in this country before. It doesn't get to 53, the number of deaths in a week in such a short span of time. And did they have to die? That's a question many are asking. And is this the kind of cost going forward that we should be ready to pay when we are demanding for our rights?
Fred, it is not a surprise that President William Ruto is mutilating the Constitution as a president. The man has never supported anything progressive for this country. He fought this constitutional promulgation, and that's why his interpretation of Article 37 is treasonous and dangerous criminals. I just wonder how fast we graduated from being hustlers to being dangerous, treasonous criminals, because we are just basically trying to evoke provisions of our constitution. The president is unaware that these Gen Zs, when we were in high school, primary school, during the promulgation of the 2010 Constitution, copies of these constitutions were circulated to us. We started reading the Constitution in primary, and that's why some of us would quote the constitutions as if we are lawyers. We are not, because these copies were made available to us. In 2010, I was a class 6 pupil when this constitution was being promulgated. We read the constitution, we understand what is there. So the president's understanding of a dangerous, treasonous criminals, it is not a surprise. I have said, and I will still repeat, the man wasn't for this, because, President William Ruto political limelight started from the YK 92 Thuggery. The man came to power under a root of injustice. He is not a man who believes in democracy, and that's why he will do anything possible to ensure that we, the people, are met by full brutal force of the unprofessional police service. How would you deploy police officers to Haiti to go and tackle dangerous armed criminals, and then you deploy the military to come and handle civilian affairs? The military are not trained on civilian interaction. They are trained on war.
Although most of these deaths are blamed directly on the police, not the military.
Also, of course, but it is a question to ask. Why? Because, yesterday, it is in the public domain. The behavior of the military was so civilized and very disciplined, as opposed to our police. And I was monitoring the situation. You find that the demonstrators were, upon seeing the military, they felt a sigh of relief, and they escorted them in chants and slogans of patriotism. Then immediately the military vehicle passed or went past the police. The unprofessional goons in the official attire unleashed their terror on the people. I was in the street during the protest of 25th. I saw the policeman handle the citizens. In the morning, actually the police, I have photos of a police officer. I would recommend to take individual responsibility for the violence that was seen in the city. Because this man,
the concern, Sakara, is that we've seen protests over and over in Kenya where police use brutal force, even fatally wounding many protesters, but action is never taken. And that's my concern going forward, that yes, 53 will just be another number we're talking about, that people die and nothing will happen.
As Gen Zs, we have our ultimatum that these lives must be accounted for. The person who gave orders, and I've even said this in the streets, this is not to say I'm the leader of Gen Zs, and this should be very clear, by the way. There is a confusion that politicians are trying to drive the divide and rule agenda. We do not recognize as Gen Zs Anefa, Caliph Cairo, any other purporting animal portraying himself as a leader. Not even myself as Sankara, I would say I'm the leader of Gen Zs, but I would say I'm a participant in the Gen Z movement because I am a Gen Z myself. I am driven by a collective common goal everyone is fighting for. So anyone who is going to front themselves as our leaders in the pretext of extorting money from the failed political class shall be met with utmost force that they deserve and opposition. So these lives, as we are saying, we must account for the lives, because the right to human life is not, a paperwork decision that someone can just wake up and trigger their gun and shoot and kill and no action is taken. We want to see IPOA swinging into action and arresting these or police officer. I even have a friend who has got a spent cartridge in his house. He called me and told me, Sankara police, I have a spent cartridge that was used against me. Where do I take this? We want to see IPOA coming into action, arresting these goons.
We demanded over and over that IPOA does something we've never seen. IPOA has been in existence for over a decade. And allow me to welcome
this, we will
allow to welcome Nelly Chepkemoi into this position. Nelly, good morning. Karibu sana.